Welcome to the Movie Foreman, and I'm your host, Nathan Foreman. What this show is about is I'm just going to be talking movies for about maybe like 20, 30 minutes. So what I'm doing is I'm just starting this up just for a little fun, see where it goes. I have a Twitter up at the Movie Foreman. If you want to follow that, what I'm going to do is I just watch a few movies every week and review those movies, and I'm going to try to see the newer movies coming out as quickly as possible to review those movies so you guys can go see those and know what you're going into so you're not going in blind. Yeah, if you watch this video, share, like, give me a comment. Definitely give me a comment so I can have feedback to know what I'm doing. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going to the first part of my show. And the first part of my show is I'm going to talk about the movies that I did watch over the past week. So I saw Warcraft, and that was last night, and I definitely enjoyed. I wouldn't say enjoy. I was definitely disappointed. I mean, it would definitely be another video game movie that all these fans are gonna go see that just didn't hit it right. It was definitely cool to see the video game on screen, but it didn't hit it like I imagined it would. The characters were weak. The story was weak. The dialogue was weak. The scenery was incredible though. And one of my favorite parts was the Griffin, the way he flew and the way it really showed how the game works. And then the action scenes were super cool. They were corny, but and the dialogue around them was really bad, but they were definitely cool. And the CGI was pretty cool. I liked how the orcs looked. And the scenery itself, I thought sometimes the characters were too big for the scenery. I don't know, they looked really huge compared to some of like the trees and stuff. It just looked weird. And then I saw Conjuring 2 as well. And that was pretty scary. Yeah, I really like scary movies. I love The Conjuring. The Hayes brothers really brought a great story to the screen with Ed and Lorraine Warren, and then I mean it spurred Annabelle, and then so this one I thought there were some corny parts to it, of course, because it's a scary movie. There's always gonna be corny parts. The Crooked Man. I don't want to give much away, but the Crooked Man is one of the characters that's the scary part of the film, and I don't know. I thought it was a little too much. What it comes from is this little kid has this thing that he watches. One of the characters has a not a speech impediment, a stutter, and so he sings and watches this thing, and it's supposed to help with his stutter. So and they brought that to life. They could have done many more things with that to make it scary, but they brought that character from that thing to life, and it looked fake. Didn't really fit in. It just seemed stupid. I really liked The Nun. The Nun was really scary. I thought that was a cool aspect. And then the relationship between the Warrens was fantastic. They really hit that spot on. The Hayes brothers did, who are the writers of the film. And then the dialogue was great. I really thought the way it progressed was good. I also liked how instead of in most movies it affects one person, this movie it did affect one person, but it really affected everyone in the film. The scary parts, and I thought that was really cool. So I give that a 4 out of 6. What I do is I go from 0 to 6. So 0 would be awful, 1 would be bad, 2 would be eh, 3 is average, 4 is good, 5 is great, and 6 is wow. I mean, for a horror movie it was good. For a regular movie, it could have been a lot better. Some of the dialogue, I mean, it's like a scary movie. You can only have so much. I really thought the twist towards the end was very good, but at the same time predictable. I mean, it's what you get with a scary movie. But I mean, I'm really excited to see where these stories go from here. I know the Hayes brothers have a lot more in their pocket that they can pull out with Ed and Lorraine, and also with The Nun itself. And James Wan really can do some incredible things with the horror movies. So we'll see where those go. We'll see where that franchise takes us. Hopefully nothing like Paranormal Activity, where they just don't give us much after the first two, which well, after the first three, I really liked the third Paranormal Activity, but after the first three, they really didn't give us anything new. And then after like the Insidious grouping, I hope Conjuring really keeps it up and keeps giving us good horror movies, because that's definitely what we need. We need more good horror movies, and we need that genre to progress. Another movie I watched would be Halloween, another scary movie. I've actually never seen that movie before. I really thought, I mean, watching Jamie Lee Curtis as a kid or as a young adult really was pretty cool. I had never seen any of her movies when she was young. I thought Michael Myers was terrifying. I thought his character was just menacing. The way he just didn't have to say a word, and it worked. He walked slow, took his time, patient. I thought that was super cool. And it wasn't rushed like most horror movie killers are. They seemed rushed. They want to do everything quick. This guy really took his time and really made sure he was doing all the things he wanted to do right. I thought that was really cool. Other than that, I mean, it's an old scary movie, so watching scary movies now and going back and watching the classics, it's hard to really look at it the same way. I mean, the special effects aren't there. I mean, but it's an older movie. But it's good for that time. I really think it's a pretty incredible and a scary movie for the time. I would give that about a 3, just because the movies we have now really can't really compete. And then the same song, the whole movie. I mean, I didn't like that at all. And so yeah, I mean, I really want to watch the remake of it, the more modern version of it, to see if it can capture what I'm thinking in my mind they could do with such a good movie back then, and then coming back and doing it with all the modern gear they have. They could really do good. I also watched The Graduate, which is a Dustin Hoffman film. This made him famous. Hilarious movie. Dustin Hoffman, his character, comes right out of college, and he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, and he has an affair with the family friend, and then he meets her daughter, and he falls in love with her daughter. So it's a pretty funny movie. There's lots of little things that happen, and the ending is very good. I thought for an older movie, it really hit. Didn't do much with the characters, really didn't connect with, but I thought it was a good movie, funny movie, clever movie at the time. And I gave that a 3 as well. And then I watched Good Morning America, or Good Morning Vietnam. Great Robin Williams film. I mean, Robin Williams always brings such great character to the set and to the camera. I really think, and lots of laughs. I really think you can really tell he works hard to really get his audience to really connect with his character and connect with the others through him. I really thought the girl, his love interest in the movie, was great. I mean, I don't know if she's actually like speaks English and stuff, but she played great. And then Forrest Whitaker in there, he's super young in the movie. Funny character, plays kind of like a nerdy kind of kid. And Robin Williams plays like a DJ kind of guy, and he's in Vietnam during the Vietnam War. And it also really shows the impact of the war and what it means. There's a good ending, very good ending, kind of a heartfelt ending. My mom said it was gonna make me cry. Didn't make me cry, but great film. And then I watched Air Force One. I'm a huge Harrison Ford fan, as you might be able to tell from the Star Wars poster behind me. I'm really into Star Wars. I really like Harrison Ford. He's one of my favorite actors. I really think he brings such a great presence to film. And one thing he does really well, like in this movie, is he makes you like his character. He really makes you root for his character throughout the film, as well as he is that character. And when you watch the film, you're not thinking, oh, that's Harrison Ford. That's in this film, it's the President of the United States. In Indiana Jones, it's Indy. In Star Wars, it's Han Solo. Like it's pretty incredible what this guy can do on the screen. Special effects in this movie, they're flying. It's all about Air Force One and how people or these Russian guys take over the plane, and Harrison Ford, who plays the president, has to protect his family as well as the rest of the passengers on the plane and save them and save himself. So I really thought this movie brought that. I mean, it really told the story well. But when they're up in the sky and showing the planes flying around and showing all the action scenes in the flight, outside of the plane action scenes, it's just corny. I mean, the special effects are awful, but I mean, it's a movie from the 1990s, so I can't really expect much different. But inside the story really hits you. I really thought the characters were developed well. And then Gary Oldman is the villain, and he plays a great villain. And I gave that one, I think I put on my Twitter that I gave it a 3.5. Yeah, 3.5. I ended up bumping that up to a 4. Thinking about it, I really decided that was a good movie. I decided that was more than just an average at best. And so I put that up to a 4. Alright, so now that I've talked about the movies that I've watched, that's just some of them that I've watched. You can look on my Twitter, again, at the movie foreman, and see what I've watched. I put up every time I watch a movie, I put it up on my Twitter account, and I'll usually rate it after the movie I watch it. Okay, so from now I'm going to talk about my most anticipated movies. This will be my second segment of each show. I have 3 overall, 3 segments throughout the show. My most anticipated definitely would be my first would be Suicide Squad. With Batman vs Superman already coming out, and that was an awful movie, absolutely terrible movie. I did not like it whatsoever. I thought the story was all over the place. The way Batman and Superman became allies after they had been fighting each other, the way that happened was just terrible. I thought it was rushed. They rushed through that film, even though they had been filming it and talking about it forever. I really thought it was just a terrible film. The only good thing about it really was seeing the Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman in it. That was cool, but other than that, it was terrible. So with the DC universe kind of on a downfall right now, movie-wise, I'm really excited to see what Suicide Squad brings us. The trailers look great. If you haven't checked those out, definitely check those out. Will Smith plays Deadshot. Margaret Robbie plays Harley Quinn. Jared Leto, love Jared Leto, great in all of his movies. Always brings great presence to the screen. And he's playing Joker, and I'm just very excited to see what he brings to that character after such a great performance from Heath Ledger. Rumors have been flying around that he was scaring people on set because of his characters, because he didn't leave his character for months at a time because he just really wanted to be in it. That shows that they're caring about this movie. Margaret Robbie really said she enjoyed playing Harley Quinn, so that shows that they're enjoying this movie. One of my favorite Batman villains, Killer Croc, is in this movie. It's not what I pictured him to be on screen, but it's still, from playing those Arkham Asylum games, the Batman games, I expected him to be bigger, but wow, he looks cool. And then there's the new villains coming in. They look great, and then Batman's in the movie, so any movie with Batman in it, I'm excited to see. Even Batman vs Superman, I was excited to see, but it just didn't disappoint me. Another movie. This movie seems very weird, but also something I really want to see. I really want to see how it works. It's called Swiss Army Man. It's with Daniel Radcliffe, and I don't really know how it works. If you want to check out the trailer. Go check that out, definitely. From what I got out of it is that he dies, and then he becomes this like machine for this other guy to use. They go camping and they get lost, and so this other guy has to use Daniel Radcliffe's character like a Swiss Army knife, and he's a big tool, and they have to get themselves safely home. And it looks weird. It looks interesting. It looks like a film that's very creative and something people haven't seen. And I'm really excited for that one. And then one movie, Viggo Mortensen's new movie coming out called Captain Fantastic. Watched the trailer the other day. Looks really interesting. Looks like a really heartfelt movie. It's about a guy who lives in the woods, kind of off the grid, with his family. He has like 4 kids, and his wife gets sick, and she has to go to the hospital back in town. And he keeps the family back in the woods, off the grid still, and they're kind of live this like hippie life. It's kind of like this like looks kind of like a cultish lifestyle. And then all of a sudden he has to go with his family into town, and the grandparents of the kids try to take the kids from him. And it looks just like this great film, and the kids have to transition from this odd life off the grid in the woods to real normal society. And there's it really looks like a good coming of age film, and then as well as a good, I mean, maybe family film. I'm not really sure if it would be suitable for young ages, but I mean, it looks like a good film. And then of course the Ben-Hur remake. I love the old classic. It's a great movie. I picked it up the other day at Best Buy to rewatch, so I can be ready to see and compare those two together. That comes out I think in August, and it looks really good. I don't really know many of the actors in it, but it just looks like a good movie, and it looks like it's going to really bring a new generation to a great classic, and that's always cool to see. And I'm really excited to see how they do the chariot races with modern technology that they have and special effects. Okay, so from there, I'm going to start, after I talk about my most anticipated, I'm going to talk about movies I'm going to watch soon throughout this week. So I got 10 Cloverfield Lane today after work. I picked it up at the Redbox. I've been really wanting to see this film since I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I've liked the Star Trek, and I became a big J.J. Abrams follower. I really like his stuff, and all of a sudden when everyone was anticipation for this new Star Wars film to come out. All of a sudden this other film popped up, and it's called 10 Cloverfield Lane. It's a sequel to Cloverfield, but I've heard that it really doesn't have much to do with Cloverfield itself. You don't really have to see Cloverfield to watch this movie, but it helps. John Goodman's in it. It looks like a great film. Some of the guys that I watch on YouTube said that this is a film that was one of their favorites of the year. So I'm very excited to watch this film. Probably gonna check it out just after I watch the next movie that I'm going to talk about the night before. This is a Seth Rogen film. I love Seth Rogen. Grew up watching it with friends. Grew up watching Seth Rogen with friends. I mean, we used to watch his stuff almost every weekend and just laugh. And those were always things that connected us real well. This film is one that I wanted to see when it was out in theaters, but just never got the chance because I was in school. And now I'm just in for the summer, so I have a lot of time for movies. So yeah, I just wanted to see this one. This one looks funny. I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He was great in the Batman movie. He's great in Inception. I mean, this kid really knows how to act, and I've never really seen him in much of a comedy role, so I'm excited to see this. Also, Anthony Mackie, the guy that plays what's his name? He plays in the Avengers. Sam Wilson, yeah, and plays Sam Wilson in the Avengers, and he's in it as well. And I'm excited to see what he brings to a comedy movie. And this movie really has a great. It seems like a funny movie. I mean, Seth Rogen's a Jewish man in Christmas, and I'm excited to see how it goes. Of course, Finding Dory. Definitely gonna go check that out next weekend. This movie got, I mean, it's gonna blow the box office out of the water. I really think this is gonna be the biggest one of the summer so far, with the disappointments of X-Men Apocalypse and TMNT 2. Really nothing. I think it'll blow it out of the water. Uh, I'm a little nervous to see if Dory can bring herself to pull a movie together. Uh, I'm still a little skeptical that it might be a rehash of Finding Nemo, but I mean, I was a big Finding Nemo fan as a kid, and I'm really excited to see the sequel to this. See the continuation of a good movie. So, and I mean, Pixar, they haven't really, I mean, other than Inside Out, they haven't really done, well, yeah, since Inside Out, they haven't done much, so I'm excited to see what Finding Dory brings to the table. And Central Intelligence, this is with The Rock and Kevin Hart. Looks like a funny movie, doesn't look like anything spectacular, looks like any other Kevin Hart action film, might as well be Ride Along 3. But, I mean, The Rock always brings good laughs to the stage as well as Kevin Hart, so them working together in a movie, I mean, it's kind of a must-see. So I'm going to go check that out. Some other movies I'm going to check out this week, some ones that I've seen before, some ones that I haven't. I'm going to be checking out Labyrinth. This is a movie I got when I was younger. Only watched it a few times. David Bowie, Jim... it's a Jim Henson, George Lucas producer. So it's got to be a good movie. I don't really remember much about it. I know it's about a girl that goes into a maze and eats a bunch of Muppets. But I mean, you never know. Jim Henson brings such great characters to the stage, and David Bowie's a great actor, and George Lucas really knows how to pull a movie together. Other than my opinion, Episode 1, Phantom Menace, terrible film. But it is Star Wars, so we love Star Wars here. So the next one, picked this up the other day. Ben-Hur, great movie. Gonna be watching this, putting it up on my Twitter. Might actually do a video just about Ben-Hur since the remake's coming out. Might be doing that closer to the remake coming out. Glory, great Civil War film with Matthew Broderick and Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington. This is a great film. Really shows the impact of the Civil War and African Americans' part that they played in that. Really cool film. Really cool film. The King's Speech with Colin Firth and Jeffrey Rush. Wow, great film. This is one of those films that really pulls you in. They really bring great characters onto the screen. This is one of those films that the concept of it sounds stupid. Like, this is a guy with a stutter. Like, this is literally a guy with a stutter who gives a speech and learns to overcome that stutter, but it's still an emotional movie. It's not something that if I was like, oh, that's coming out, I wouldn't have seen it. Like, but I got pulled to it, saw it, absolutely incredible film, and really shows Colin Firth's ability to act and ability to pull a character together and give you emotions even with the stupid concept of a movie. But the characters' relationships together really pull you in and give you the emotional feel that you need for this kind of movie. The next is Groundhog Day, and Bill Murray. He experiences day over and over and over again. Great film, very funny. Bill Murray always brings lots of laughs to the screen, so I'll definitely be doing a review about that. And then Master and Commander. It's about, I really don't know much about this movie. It's one of my dad's favorites. It's got Russell Crowe. But other than that, I really don't know much. I know they go to the Galapagos Islands, so I'll be definitely talking about this one next week in my show. And I will definitely be also checking out Jungle Book. I know it's a little late, but the Jungle Book is definitely a movie that I've been wanting to see. Just haven't got the chance to, so I'll be definitely checking that out as well. And then next week I will have maybe another segment or two, or maybe another guest definitely after I see Finding Dory Friday or Saturday night, I will be doing a show about that with a special guest, and then I will try to be having guests on the show. They'll just be friends as I get this thing started. See where I can get this YouTube account going, and from there, maybe something else. It might be I might be pulling. I watch a lot of the Schmoes, and I watch a lot of Collider, and those guys are great. Those guys are always good. I'm gonna be getting a lot of news from them. I might try to do a movie news show, nothing like theirs, but something along the lines of that. And then might be doing a show once a month talking about Star Wars, because I love Star Wars. And whenever you get the chance to talk about Star Wars, you do it. So I'm going to be doing that. Comment, share, like, even throw me a thumbs down if you don't like this video. It gives me feedback to know what I should change, what I shouldn't. I'm definitely going to be getting a better webcam soon, so sorry about the quality. And sorry about the sound, my computer's trash. And I'm going to be putting up this video, and then I'm going to be doing one at least once a week, as much as I can throw in movie-wise as I can. And then from there, I'm going to be adding different segments, different videos. I'm a big fan of the Schmodown, so I might be adding a movie trivia with friends once the school year starts. I'm going to try to get this all going first and then throw it together and do something like the Schmodown, maybe add a little flair to it and make it a mix between movie fights and Schmodown, see what I can pull together. So yeah, check out this video. I'm going to be adding better videos to that. Definitely subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, comment, thumbs down. A thumbs down I even welcome. And then a follow on my Twitter @TheMovieForeman. Alright, so that was the show. I will definitely be talking to you guys next week. Maybe once we get big, I can start doing live and you guys can be commenting and just chatting with me about the movies. Alright, cool. And I'll see you guys next week.